Hello YouTubers. I wanted to do a wear and tear, a revisit on my Dooney Bourke domed patent leather satchel with the vachetta trim. I purchased this bag a year ago. It was a TSV hosted by Lisa Robertson and Sue Clifton, the Dooney rep. This bag was available, I believe, in half a dozen colors. If you go on the website right now, you can get this bag in 2 colors, in orange and in green. This bag is in the navy, which I felt like for all of the color choices, that this was the best option for me. I feel like the navy is a perfect all year round winter, spring, summer, fall bag. I wanted to specifically speak about how the vachetta on the bag has been holding up and how it's been aging. It's held up beautifully, as they've spoken on it before, Lisa and other hosts and Sue Clifton. The bag was a very pale white color, and it's turned into this beautiful honey shade. And I definitely see it getting warmer than that. As you can see, I do not baby this bag in any way. I take it out in all of the elements. And the bottom is definitely a little bit lighter than the front and the handles and the strap. The parts that get the most exposure are just a touch warmer. And as you can see, the handles are very warm because I use this as a crook of your arm bag compared to the bottom, which it has patinaed, but it hasn't patinaed as much as, say, the perimeter of the bag. And it's starting to all become one tone. You definitely, with vachetta, you definitely have to be patient with the process, especially in the beginning. See, there's some minor spotting there, and right there, you have to look really close. My cat whacked my bag, but these things don't bother me because that's just the process of how this leather is going to warm up and tan and age. So it just gives this bag more character than it is when it's brand new out of the box. So if you want your leather to always stay that bright white color, then this is not the brand for you. There are other high-end brands that have real vachetta trim that they treat it and it will always stay that way. An example of that would be a Michael Kors or Calvin Klein. When you see Michael Kors bags with the pale vachetta trim or the Calvin Klein bags with the pale vachetta trim, it will always stay that way because they do a specific treatment on it. But with this, with the Dooney Bourkes, when you see it with the vachetta trim, or the Louis Vuitton with the vachetta trim, they will turn and warm up and tan up and age, which is something that I actually really enjoy. I just learned to be patient with the process, because in the beginning it did kind of like, I guess it would be like startle me or bother me a little bit, because I felt like it was reading like it could have possibly been dirty or not cared for. But now that it's been a year later, I am so really happy with this process of how it's been aging. And overall, I'm really happy with this domed patent leather satchel. I know that they have another domed patent leather satchel that's exactly like the Pebble satchel that I recently purchased in the geranium color. They have that exact bag in the patent leather variety. And I gotta say, for my money, that this patent leather domed satchel is worth it. I think that the other version of it, I would not get. I think that if you have the choice between this one and the new domed patent leather satchel, that I would definitely steer you to this one. Value per dollar, per square inch of leather. The inside is held up beautifully, and this has the nylon key keeper with the gunmetal lobster claw, which I'm not a fan of. And this is collared with the vachetta here, and you can see how much more pale this is compared to all of the vachetta that's exposed to the outside elements. And this is the name plaque. See how this is how it begins. in that pale, pale color. And it will eventually warm up to this nice warm color, and I see it getting maybe a shade or two darker than that, which I'm anticipating. I'm really looking forward to that. The body of the bag is held up beautifully. The pattern can take a beating. So I think I would highly recommend this version of the Dome Patent Satchel over the newer version of the Dome Patent Satchel. And I have that newer version in the Pebble Leather version, which I highly recommend that. But this is, I feel like this is a better value for your money. And I've taken the wristlet, as you can see, because this doesn't get exposed a lot to the outside elements. This is always kept in the inside of my bag. This is much lighter. And I've taken the keeper and I've actually attached it. If you look in the inside of the bag, there's the Dooney tag, and then underneath that is another tag. And I've actually just used that as a loop to anchor the wristlet inside the bag. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to revisit this bag a year later and show you how overall the bag is held up. And anything that gets on this bag, you just take a slightly damp cloth or even a baby wipe and you can wipe down the whole bag, even the vachetta, and it doesn't affect it in any way. This bag is held up beautifully and it was definitely worth the money. So if this is something that you've been thinking about, I would definitely add this to your collection as one of the must-haves. I feel that patent is definitely a spring must-have, and I feel that the navy patent is the most versatile of all of the colorways. So, thanks for watching, guys. And if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good night, guys.